Generally thank Chris for coming onto here. And again, he didn't have to come onto here. We were just kind of talking, going over some things as it was, and decided, hey, why not shoot a video? Because I remembered one of the questions he asked me. And as we were sitting here going over some things in the markets, and as he was telling me he's been progressing and how much he's been learning, it really had me thinking, I need to make a video because I feel like so many other people would want to know. Hey, what's up, guys? So I am here with one of my students right now, and I remember when he first started about a month ago within my mentorship, he had asked me a question that really sat with me. And it's because I thought if he had that question, a lot of you may have that question, and I'm here to answer that. And what that question was in specific was, he had asked me, if I were to join your mentorship, or if I were to stay and continue the journey without a mentorship, what are the benefits of joining a mentorship versus not? And I went through it with him for about 30 minutes to an hour, and granted, I'm not gonna go that deep into it here. I'm gonna briefly go over it with a timeline I made with the difference between with and without a mentorship. But before we get into that, again, this is one of my students, his name is Chris. He's gonna kind of go into his story. He did start trading, I'd say maybe a year or two ago, but it was never really too serious, never really took the mentorship route. And again, that's fine. A lot of people do end up starting that way, but he's kind of gonna go into what he really struggled with in those beginning years without a mentor, because it's a lot of things that you guys may resonate with and a lot of things that I may resonate with. Because if you guys do not know, I at first did not have a mentor. I really did not have a mentor until about 3 years in, where I did find my friend Luca No Limit, who did end up helping me a lot. But before that, I did take the journey on for a couple years by myself and went through a lot of these battles that he dealt with and a lot of you probably are dealing with. But again, let's introduce Chris.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Chris. I've been trading for about a year or so. Started off by learning a little bit off of what Nick was telling me, but I was still going on YouTube, searching up different strategies, seeing how people have different views on the market, and just grabbing a little bit of information from everyone and putting that into my trading journey. After about a year or so, I felt stuck and I saw no results. I was not winning. If anything, I was losing a lot more, and I just felt very discouraged. So I stopped trading for a couple months. I came back to Nick and I asked him, and during this time when I asked him, he already found his niche in trading, and that's when he started launching his mentorship. So I went and asked him this question that he had just told you guys, and honestly, I've been in his mentorship for about a month now, and everything that I've learned has accelerated my trading journey, and I have a different perspective in how I enter the markets. He's very big on journaling and tracking your data, which is something that I have completely been doing, and it's definitely a game changer.
Yeah, going on to what he said, again, a month in and he's already seeing better results than what he was seeing in his year alone. And again, I'm not here just to tell you guys to go with a mentor, because granted, I took that route without a mentor, and I'm still sitting here in this position where I'm now making over 10K a month, consistently seeing 4 and 5 figure withdrawals. And again, it's because I went through that journey, and now I'm in a position to help people like Chris and to help a lot of my students. And I actually have a lot of students who are seeing consistent withdrawals right now, following the same system and the same plan that I gave them, because I only gave it to them because I took it. And if I took it and it worked for me, I know it can work for them, and I've been seeing it with my own eyes. And again, he's gonna see it soon. He's only a month in, but like he said, there was a lot of confusion he had on his own. And just me kind of guiding him, taking him one-on-one, has helped him gain a lot of clarity, confidence, and an overall new perspective on the markets. And that's the biggest thing, is your perspective, right? Everyone can have a different perspective and everything can work, genuinely. But it's about what you do with it, right? The system you take, the approach you take, how much are you journaling, how much are you tracking trade? Again, at the end of the day, trading is a business. You have to treat it like a business. Businesses get data, you have to get data. You never know when something's gonna change, or you never know when you can add to your system to make it better, or you need to take something away to make it better, whatever it may be. But I'm gonna go over into this timeline because I really wanna break down super quick what it would look like with and without a mentor in a 3-year span. And granted, with a mentor, I do not even think it would take 3 years. I think it would take either a year to 2 years to really see insane results. I've seen it firsthand with a couple of my students, and I know I'll see it with Chris. But let's go into this. So as you guys can see on the Miro board, we have 2 timelines here. One is with a mentor and one is without a mentor. So we'll kind of go over without a mentor first, because I know a lot of you are in that position. You don't have a mentor, you're not really seeking one yet, or maybe you are seeking one, and this video is here to help you. When it comes to you trading without a mentor, there's a couple things that you may deal with in the first year. And the biggest way to sum it up is you're gonna feel lost and overwhelmed. Chris told you guys that, that's how he felt, that's how I felt. Again, there's a lot of self-doubt, there's a lot of overwhelming information, too much information to where sometimes it can come in the way of your actual trading. You need to have one system, and when people don't understand that, they'll trade anything, and that's why they're not seeing results, and that's why it takes them years to see anything, because they don't understand that all you need is one system and you need to track your data. Simple as that. But going into year 2 without a mentor, a lot of times you're gonna feel frustrated, you're still gonna feel stuck, you may start seeing some better results, or maybe you now have a system, but now this is when you start dealing with a lot of the psychological issues. Being that you dealt with all these other problems and technical issues so early on and for the first year, that filled up all the time, where now in year 2, you're barely starting to work on other aspects. So, with that being said, year 2 can definitely cause burnout cycles. Even Chris said he wasn't even year 2 yet and he got burnt out. He stopped trading. And again, that's fine. That happens. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. But the fact of the matter is he didn't quit, and now he's in a position where he can actually see himself running with this long term. He genuinely can. So going into year 3 without a mentor, again, burned out, behind, this is when everything starts kicking in. You start thinking, oh, I wasted my money. You start thinking, oh, this is only for lucky people. You're emotionally trading. You start seeing other people make all this money, and that can ultimately hurt your mindset. And this is where a lot of people quit. If you haven't quit already, year 3 is one of the biggest quitting years. This is where a lot of people just step out and say, this is not for me. But now I want to go into it with a mentor, because it's entirely different, right? And I didn't just put this here to put this here. No, I put this here based off data, based off what my students are doing, because I've given them a plan, they're following it, and within a couple months, they're seeing results that I didn't see for 2-3 years. And that's insane to me, right? So with the mentor, a lot of times, first year, again, you're still gonna start a little bit slow, but there's gonna be a lot more clarity and structure, because you actually have a plan to follow. I'm giving him a plan. I give all my students a plan. I give them the right system. I get them on the right track, right? That's what it's about. And once they're on the right track, the clarity comes a lot faster. There's more confidence. Again, you're understanding risk mastery, and the biggest thing, data tracking. I put it into my students' heads the first weekend how important journaling is. It is so important, and I'll save that for another video. But typically year 2, and honestly even earlier than year 2, my students and anyone who seeks out to find a mentor and to utilize a mentor will start seeing more consistency. And from here, again, you're seeing withdrawals, you're seeing emotional control, you're seeing focus. And from there, going into year 3, it's just about sustainability and growing. Again, you're just gonna start scaling because you know the system, because you've been getting withdrawals. And at that point, it's only up, generally speaking. And look at the difference between year with and without a mentor. Year 3 is entirely different. Year 2 is entirely different. Year 1 is entirely different. Every single thing is entirely different. By the time someone without a mentor is going into year 4 and starting to see results, you're already over here seeing results in year 2. By your year 4 compared to their year 4, you're making potentially $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, and they're making
Or
5,
earlier.
10, exactly.
Or
So
earlier.
that's where even he can agree, where now that he stepped into the mentorship route, where he is seeking a mentor and he's seeking that help, he's seen so much progress where he couldn't imagine himself without a mentor. Genuinely, I think back to when I didn't have a mentor, and I'm like, what was I doing? I could have seen success so much faster, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm grateful for my experience and my journey, but I'm just saying, I even understand if I would have taken the mentorship route, it would have been so much faster. But I'm gonna go back to the main camera, because I'm done showing this timeline, and I want to talk about one more thing. So ending the video, but not yet. I talked about data tracking a lot. Chris knows the importance, I know the importance. I tell all my community the importance, but not only do I want you to know the importance, I want you to actually start tracking yourself. So in the link in the description, I'm gonna give you a totally free trading journal, and it's actually gonna come with a trading plan where you can utilize both. If you don't have a system yet, you can start building it. If you're not tracking trades, start tracking trades. It's free, it helps you, it's helped me. It's the one I use right now. It's the one he uses right now, and all my students. So I want you to go check that out. But generally thank Chris for coming onto here. And again, he didn't have to come onto here. We were just kind of talking, going over some things as it was, and decided, hey, why not shoot a video? Because I remembered one of the questions he asked me. And as we were sitting here going over some things in the markets, and as he was telling me he's been progressing and how much he's been learning, it really had me thinking, I need to make a video, because I feel like so many other people would want to know what would be the difference in a 3-year journey with and without a mentorship. But I hope I broke that down enough for you guys to kind of understand what you want to do next. By all means, if you do not want to take the mentorship route, go for it. I didn't take the mentorship route. You don't necessarily need it. But if you want to see results faster, you want to see profitability faster, that is the way to do it. Finding a mentor, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who, again, shows consistency, shows profitability, has students who are seeing success. Again, looking for someone like that, utilizing someone like that, could ultimately help you find success so much faster. I have other students doing it. Chris is going to be alongside them. I'm telling you right now. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed.